Welcome to the Recommended Daily Value Podcast, your daily dose into the health and wellness world.
Welcome back to the Recommended Daily Value Podcast, where we dive into everything health, fitness, and nutrition related 5 days a week in 5 minutes or less. This podcast is brought to you by Umzu, and I'm your host, Tyler Woodward. If you're not already, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, because today's topic of the day is why white rice is not a health food. And look, I'm not telling you not to eat white rice, and personally, I eat it all the time. But I feel like for whatever reason, many people think that white rice is the pinnacle of health foods, when in fact, it's pretty damn close to being empty calories or pure calories, whatever you want to call it. And if you look up the nutritional value of white rice, it has virtually no nutritional value. Within a cup of non-enriched white rice, which means nothing's added to it, you'll find about 1% of your daily requirements for calcium, phosphorus, potassium, some iron, and a bit of B1. But a cup of white rice takes about 10% of an average person's daily caloric intake, or 220 calories, give or take. So proportionally, it's not very nutritious in terms of bang for your buck with regards to how many micronutrients you're getting relative to calories. And don't think I'm arguing for brown rice either. While brown rice does contain more nutrients, it's also been shown to contain much more arsenic and phytic acid. Phytic acid is what's known as an anti-nutrient, meaning it binds to minerals in the plant like zinc, calcium, magnesium, iron, etc., and prevents us from absorbing them. Basically, it forms a crystal with these minerals and they just pass right through us undigested. But back to white rice. So white rice is a starch, and starches are made up of pure glucose, so they require a lot more insulin to process them compared to sugar, which is half glucose and half fructose. Fructose, as you may know, does not cause insulin to be released by the pancreas, so it proportionally results in a lower insulin response. Basically, this means that sugars are less likely to be stored as fat and more likely to be burned compared to starches when you eat the same amount of calories. For instance, brown rice has a glycemic index of 50, glycemic index being a measure of how much insulin is released when you consume a given food, compared to white rice, which is at 72. White rice is actually higher than the devil's crystal, or pure white table sugar, which comes in at around 65. The reason brown rice has a much lower glycemic index than both white rice and sugar is because of its fiber content. Basically, ounce for ounce, brown rice contains less usable energy or calories, so it causes a smaller insulin response. Now, again, I'm not saying white rice is bad for you, nor am I advocating for brown rice or trying to make a case for eating it. In fact, I think white rice is a delicious and convenient source of calories or energy, which is what it should be used for. It's a good source of calories. It's not a great source of nutrients, or it's not this crazy health food. It doesn't contain a lot of micronutrients, but for most people, it's an easily digestible and relatively low GI food compared to other starches, making it a very viable and tasty source of energy if you enjoy it. Just make sure you're getting in sufficient micronutrients by consuming other nutrient-rich foods like fruits, roots, dairy, meats, shellfish, and pairing these nutrient-rich foods with these energy-dense foods like white rice. At the end of the day, a cup of white rice is only about 200 calories, and it's very filling for most people. So generally, I'm a huge fan of it, and like I said, I eat it all the time. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just remember that when structuring your diet, there's no such thing as a perfect food, so you'll always have to mix and match various foods together to meet your daily requirements and make it that perfect meal. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and to share with a friend. And remember, these opinions are my own, based on my own research and experiences, and is not medical advice. Till next time, be good.